ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a little segment of my preparation for the Sabbath. Today's Friday, preparing my meal for tonight's dinner and tomorrow's lunch, breakfast, dinner, whatever, but preparing for tomorrow. The Bible says that I cannot go out on the Sabbath day and find a meal. So we prepare our meal on Friday, and so that's what I'm doing. So I went out yesterday, got me a tray of chicken back, and I got it from the supermarket. So I'm gonna prepare the chicken back, take it out of the package. Got me a nice family-sized chicken back container of chicken back, and going to prepare it. So the way I prepare it, I actually use lime and vinegar. So I roll the lime and cut the lime and squeeze the lime on the chicken. And make sure we do this to remove all the rawness of the chicken, the fat. And so there it is, squeezing the lime on the chicken, remove the rawness, as I said. All right, so we have that there, and then we're going to wash it, water and vinegar. So turn the pipe on, begin to wash with vinegar. This is a nice way to get the rawness and the fat off of the chicken. So you do that, you wash it with cold water, get the rawness out of the chicken as you prepare the chicken back. Now, I like my chicken back with everything in it, so the inside of the chicken back, I don't remove everything, but I remove the outside of the fat from the chicken itself, like these little fatty pieces of the chicken back. I remove it, and it's easy to remove when the vinegar and the lime hits it. It softens it up, make it easy to be removed. So I do that, but I don't like to take this part of the chicken back out. I don't really like to take it. My wife in particular, she don't like all of that in it. Some people don't like that in it, so they remove all of that. I happen to like it, so I don't really remove all of it from all the chicken. So there you go, I remove the fat from the pieces. All right. And after you remove all that fat now, then I add my seasoning. So the seasoning that I'm gonna add to it is basic. Alrighty. After cleaning up the chicken real nice, we prepare our seasoning for the chicken. So right here I got my seasoning here prepared, and I have some onion, and notice the onion started to grow. I'm gonna still use it. Got some Scotch bonnet pepper, got some thyme leaves, and I got some clove of garlic. All right, and on top of that I have the curry powder. You can put some turmeric in it if you have turmeric and you want to use the actual turmeric. You can use that also. Got some seasoning salt you want to use. You want to use some Adobe all-purpose seasoning. You want to put some cayenne pepper in there, spice it up, give it some peppery taste. More onion, we use onion powder, and more garlic, you can use garlic powder as well. Other seasonings you can put in there according to your taste and according to your liking. So we're gonna prepare all this here, the clove of garlic. One nice way to prepare the clove of garlic is to actually use the knife and just crush it in the case itself with the shell and everything on. Simply crush it down, and easy to remove the shell when you crush it down like that. And then you dice up your garlic. So you remove the shell or the skin of the garlic. Some people might want to call it that. Remove the skin from the garlic itself. It comes right off. Then you want to wash it. Make sure you wash the garlic. Wash the pepper. Make sure the pepper is washed. The thyme leaf, and make sure you wash that as well. And then we have the onions. You want to remove the onion. One of the best way to remove this outside skin of the onion is to cut the top of the onion off, cut the bottom of the onion off as well, and then you can easily peel the skin of the onion off. Easily peeled off because you cut the top and the bottom off. Might want to score it with the knife a little bit. That helps to remove the skin easily and quickly as well. By just simply scoring the onion, and there you go. The skin is removed nice and easy. After you remove the skin nice and easy, you want to wash the onion as well. Right? You want to wash the onion. Make sure you remove all that dirty mess of the onion or anything that, just an habit I have to wash the stuff all the time. And then you want to slice up your garlic. So you want to slice up your garlic. Be careful not to slice your fingers, not to cut up your finger. You want to slice up your garlic, right? You want to mince it up, we call it, make it, palatable to eat. Some people like to put the whole garlic in the pot. That's not a good way to cook, to put the entire garlic in the pot. But you slice it up, dice it up. Some people have garlic that is already skinned and ready. So there you go. You take the garlic, and you want to take a knife, scoop it up, put it in your pot with the chicken, put it in your container of chicken, whatever you're seasoning up, and then you want to cut up your onion. Nice and easy. You cut your onions nice and easy. Some people like to cut it like that. Some people like to cut the onion in half and then cut it up, which, it works also. So whatever works for you. And carefully dice up my onion, cut up my onion, carefully not to cut my finger. And there I cut up my onion. Take the onion, put it in my container on top of my chicken. And sometimes you might want to put the seasoning in first. You can do that. Take your powder and put it in your bowl of chicken before you put your onions and all that. So here my cayenne pepper. Take some cayenne pepper, add that to my chicken. There you go, cayenne pepper. Then I want to add some onion powder. There you go. Once again, I'm making curry chicken, right? So what I did, cayenne pepper, onion powder. Now I have my Adobe all-purpose. Some people might not like Adobe flavor. You want to use a different kind of flavor. There you go, add some Adobe. And garlic and black pepper is good. Use some seasonings are mixed together, like the garlic powder is mixed with black pepper. That's good. So you want to add black pepper also to your curry chicken. You get me some black pepper. Here's some black pepper, and I'm gonna add some black pepper. So guess what? I add cayenne pepper, black pepper, country pepper. I call it country pepper. You might call it Scotch bonnet pepper. So there, my country pepper. I'm gonna slice it up. So I like to slice up the country pepper. Slice it up real thin. Sometimes I take out the seed, and sometimes I leave the seed in, and I slice it all up. So to take out the seed, I learned if you cut the top of the pepper, use a knife and just cut around the pepper on the top of it. will just simply remove the pepper seed easily. Take out the pepper seed like that because it cut out the top. The seed make your pepper extra hot. The seed of the pepper is really hot, so you really want to remove the seed. You don't really want to cook with the seed because the seed can make your stuff hot. So imagine me putting all these other kinds of pepper. It's just really to spice it up, give it a nice spicy taste. I know some of you are a better cook than me. Some of you don't like it that spicy, but I like the country pepper. So I just cut up the country pepper real small, you know, make sure. Here you go. Now whole country pepper there, you have a green one too. We're not gonna add that now. And then my thyme leaf. Excuse me, like with my thyme leaf, I like to cut up the thyme leaves too, you know? I like to cut up the thyme leaf. Some people like to just put the entire thyme leaf in the pot, and sometimes they remove the thyme leaf, but I don't like to remove the thyme leaf. I like to cut up the thyme leaf, cook it out into the meat. All right, so I like to cook it out into the meat. All right, so now I'm ready to add my curry powder. So I have a curry, like I said, cayenne. You can put what you call it, turmeric. You could actually put turmeric in it, but turmeric is actually what make curry anyway. You know, turmeric is what makes curry, in case you didn't know, but turmeric is what makes curry. So putting turmeric powder in it is really just adding more curry in a different form. The curry powder is very, very spicy, and it gives it the chicken back that curry powder taste. So now with all that in there, I mix it up together. So after you put all that seasoning in there, now you have to mix it up together, and then you put it to marinate. Some people like to let it marinate for a couple hours. I don't have that luxury right now to let it marinate for a long time. So there, I season it up, mix it up, all right, all that season, and then I cover it up and put it aside, let it marinate. Marinate or marinate? What is it? Marinate or marinate? Marinate, right? Let it marinate. Marinate or marinate? What is it? It's the same difference. Some people might correct me. Some people might not correct me. Some people might still understand what I'm saying, right? But we put it aside to marinate, meaning that the seasoning is going to get absorbed into the meat, and the meat is going to absorb the seasoning, so they gotta marry together, right? So you give it some time for the seasoning to penetrate the meat and make sure that the meat on the inside, when you bite into it, it tastes good. That's because you give it a chance to marinate or to marry together. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so while my curry chicken back is coating each other, they're engaged, they're coating each other, getting to know each other, coating each other, meaning that they, what do you call that thing when people get engaged and they quote each other, or something like that, where the man visit the woman and see, you know, how she living and all of that stuff, and him getting to know her and she getting to know him. So they're quoting each other, right? So the chicken is doing that now with the seasoning that I add to it. So in the meantime, I'm going to prepare some Irish potato to cook. A matter of fact, you could put up one Irish potato with your chicken in. All you have to do is really dice it up and add it to your chicken, and probably I'll do that. So I'm going to have some pumpkin and some mashed potato and some steamed vegetable. I'm about to cook my curry chicken back, and so there are two ways that you can start it off. So after the chicken have marinated with the season, all right, so it took me a couple hours to marinate it actually, but we then put our pot on the stove, we turn it on, and we put some oil in it. We put some oil. I found lately cooking with olive oil has been very palatable to my system, not only to my system but to the wife's system as well, digestive system. So we started using olive oil to cook with, and I pour some in here, and it gets hot. So the olive oil will get hot, and as it gets hot, you then add some curry powder to it. It's nice to put the curry powder in the oil and let the curry powder actually blend with the oil, and that gives it a nice rich curry flavor and look to your meat. And some people like to brown the meat prior to cooking it down, so they'll put the meat in a pot little by little, one by one, and it will brown it for them. So that's one way to do it. You can brown the meat before you actually steam it down with water. So right now I'm not necessarily going to brown my meat, but I somewhat remove some of the seasoning off of the meat prior to putting it in the hot oil. So I'll remove some of the seasoning as much as I can, and then I'll put the meat in. So what I'll do, I put all the meat in at the same time. I put all the meat in at the same time, and then it will spring water. So what we do, we put all the meat into the pot, and then you cover the pot. Once you cover the pot, it will begin to steam or produce its own water. Once it starts to produce its own water, that means it's time for you to add all the seasoning and all the water and extra water, basically. All right, so you put all the chicken in the pot, and then you cover the pot and let it create its own steam, and there you will then cover the pot after it creates its own steam. All right, so here we go, all the chicken in the pot. The chicken now starts to create its own water, and as that creates its own water, I'm going to then add the rest of the seasoning to it. So I add the rest of the seasoning to the chicken in the pot, and after doing that, I add some water. I like to add the water when it's hot. So what I've done, I put some water to boil, and then I'm going to add that boiled water to it. So here we go. Take the boiled water, add to my seasoning and the chicken in the pot, and let it simmer down, let it cook down. All right, so the final stage cooking this curry chicken is to add some butter, and then let it simmer down to make gravy.